Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on Women Have Needs Too. Women have needs too. Today, I need to learn what it's like to be resilient. We've talked about becoming resilient, but today we're going to learn what it's like to be resilient. Today, we're speaking with Sara Im. She's one of the most inspirational speakers, female speakers in the marketplace today. Sara is an award winning author of the book How I Survived the Killing Fields, a story of hope, love, and determination. She runs her own wellness business, Smart Healthy Living. Sara speaks to share her impactful life lessons to inspire and instill hope and resilience in her audiences at conferences, seminars, and just about everywhere. So today, we're going to learn about your story. Sara, thank you so much for being here today. And when growing up and back in, so it was 1975 to 1979 was the period that the book is referring to. And back then, I was not even, yeah, I was becoming a teenager in those years. And I remember hearing about what was happening on the other side of the world, but not really grasping and understanding. And you lived through it and survived it. I imagine there were a lot of people who didn't live through it. Do you know how many people died in the killing fields?
Almost 2 million.
That's just amazing.
Yeah.
So for those people who are not understanding what the killing fields is referring to, why don't you tell them a little bit about the story, and then we'll get into the book and how you actually survived the killing fields.
Sure. Yes. For new people that never heard or never know about killing field is let me start sharing about my life.
Sure.
And then get into the killing fields.
Sure.
I grew up in the countryside in Cambodia, and my life was beautiful when we start with. I enjoy the natural lifestyle, and then when I grew up,
And a normal childhood. Running out,
normal.
playing, and running through.
Yeah, happy life. I was a firstborn, and you can identify to that. When I graduated from high school, I got an opportunity to attend college. And college is not in my hometown. It's far away. So my mom took me to the city and rent an apartment and live there to attend college.
Wow.
Normal, college lifestyle, right? While I was attending, my whole family was back home. I'm alone and live with a friend, roommate together. So in 1975, in the month of April, the communist regime took over the country. When they came in, we didn't expect, we don't know what to expect. And we thought that, oh, no more fighting, no more gunshot, But we were totally wrong. The next day, they start to go door to door and yelling at people, come out, get out, get out. So we was forced or pulled away from our place, from our apartment. So they pushed us to go away, to go out of the city. Imagine the whole country was evacuated.
Wow.
This is a massive evacuation.
Right.
And they shut down everything.
So they were just going to take over the whole area.
Yes.
And do what with it? Just
They
bring their own people in.
No, they use us as their slave.
Ah.
We become a slave. We become a prisoner of war. They came in with hatred, with anger, with resentment. So they push us to work extremely hard. It's unimaginable.
What kind of work?
I was supposed to work in the rice field.
Okay.
Bend down, planting rice and harvest and all that, work in the heat all day long.
Let's talk about the heat. How hot was it?
It could have been 100, around 100,
That's hot.
plus and minus.
Yeah, that's hot.
It is hot.
Yeah.
And and we
And you're out there all day.
all
And
day.
probably didn't really give you much food or water.
Not much food. Very little. Barely touch our stomach. We
Wow.
went to sleep hungry every night.
Yeah.
And we were exhausted.
I'm just trying to paint the picture for people who are not understanding what predicament you're in.
Yes, yes. So for a normal day. It's like that. It's exhaustion. It's no time to rest. Not enough time to sleep. Maybe 3 or 4 hours a night.
And how old were you at this time? You were college age.
College age.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you had younger sisters and brothers?
I have younger brothers.
Okay, and they were in Cambodia because now you're not in Cambodia. You're a little bit away.
I'm still in Cambodia.
You're still in Cambodia, but just on the other side of town.
Yeah, different city.
Okay.
But they were evacuated also.
Okay.
So, yeah, and a lot of people was killed because when the communists came in, they want to clean the country, clean up. So anybody that had anything to do with the previous government, they want to eliminate them.
Eliminate how? Kill them, or so they killed them all?
They killed
They
them.
just killed. It wasn't enough that they just took them out of the office. They just eliminated them.
Yeah. They put them in a truck and blindfold them and then shot them. There's a massive execution, which I'm grateful that I did not have a chance to see that. Some people witnessed the killing,
Wow.
which become a nightmare for them.
Right.
They keep remind themselves, they keep remember the
Oh, yeah.
scene.
Oh, yeah.
But I am grateful that I did not have to see that.
No kidding.
Yeah.
It just must have been, I mean, it's hard to believe that it's still in our lifetime that this happened and you're here to talk about it.
Yes. Yeah.
So how did you, what else did you have to endure? What else did you have to survive? And how did you survive?
What else that
And-
the hardest thing for me to endure is when people start to get sick, and the sickness was passed on to each other.
Right. Yeah, because there was a pandemic.
Yeah.
What do you remember what the pandemic, what it was called back then?
Well, I don't know the name, but many people get malaria and typhoid.
Typhoid.
That was very common
Right.
around that area. And I also became swollen. My whole body was pop up swollen. And then I lost so much weight. I became skin and bone. The exhaustion is undescribable.
And malnutrition, I'm sure.
Yes. So a lot of people did not make it through that illness.
Right.
They don't have a doctors or nurse or medical facility in the complex to take care of us. They have a shelter that they push us to go to that shelter so that they don't want the working people deal with the non-working. When we are too sick, we cannot go to work.
So they put you in a separate shelter from the people who are able to work.
Yeah, but at the beginning of my sickness, I still had to struggle to go to work with my sickness until I became too sick to work, and then they put us in the infirmary. It's the waiting time.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did you get better? How did you fight your way back to health?
Well, my mindset. I fight with my mindset. I have my strong love for my family, and my vision is that I'm going to survive. I'm going to go back home with my family's loving arm. I'm going to make it. So I don't know what to do. And I thought about praying. At that time, I believed that God exists. For some reason, God showed me.
How much did you know about God before all this happened?
not a lot, but just enough to have a notion that there is God.
Yeah.
And when this time of need, I
That's when you turn to him.
I turn to him and say, God, please help me to survive.
Yeah.
I pray every night. It's dangerous if anybody see us pray. We are in trouble.
You get killed.
Yeah, the communists, they do not believe in any religion. Cambodia at that time was predominantly Buddhist, but they destroyed the temple, the monk, and everybody. They do not want anybody to practice any religion.
Right.
So now I'm on my own. I wait until nighttime. I pray, asking God to help me.
Right.
So for several weeks after I keep praying, one day I have a little bit extra energy to walk away from that infirmary. At that time, that's my goal. I cannot stay in this place. Otherwise, I will die just like the rest that keep dying every day. I could not.
You watched it all around you.
Yes, I have to get out of this dying place. So one day I walked away from it, went to the working side, and one kind team leader, she saw me coming and she took me in her group. She said, okay, you can stay with me and I'll find something for you to do. And she kept her eyes on me.
And she was a communist?
She's one of the team leader that the communists
put in charge.
Put in charge.
So she is a Cambodian.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she realized that I'm too sick to do anything.
Right.
And then she said, you cannot stay here. And I was, where would I go? She said, you go to work there. She pointed at the kitchen.
That's great.
I thought that God answered my prayer.
Yes.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Right.
It's not normal.
Yeah.
When people starve to death and work to death, and I got a chance to work in the kitchen.
Wow.
That's my beginning of a recovery.
Mm-hmm.
I worked there and I got more food and a little bit extra time to rest and sleep, and not working in the heat all day.
Yeah.
So I start to recover slightly, and then eventually I feel well again.
So how did you get out? I mean, you're in America. You are a contributing citizen in the United States of America. How do you go from being a teenager in a slave camp, a communist slave camp? How do you get from Cambodia in a slave camp to the United States of America? And what about your family? Did they all survive?
They all survived.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a miracle in itself.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. Well, in my book, chapter 15, when you read, Mom, my hero, without my mom's quick thinking, my whole family would be wiped out in a few seconds.
What did she do?
Well, you have
to read the book. Well, you just gave it to me, so now I'm going to have to read it. I can't wait to read this book. I really am looking forward to it. So your whole family survived. So how did you survive? How did you get out of that camp alive? Without dying, without getting sick, and without being killed? Was there? I mean, was there any rape involved in the whole concentration camp?
For that camp, I don't know.
It just slavery.
Yeah, just slavery.
That's bad enough.
Yeah, but I was captivated in that group for 4 years. At the end of 4 years, there is another communist group coming in to liberate us from this mean murderous group. So we have a little bit break time. The whole country was liberated in beginning of 79. But for me, I was still in captivity, and they pushed my group further and further into the wood. And
Really?
yeah, so my family thought that I was dead
Wow.
because everybody come home, but where
Right.
was she? So I had to run away. I escaped. It's in the book.
It's in, so you escape.
I
Well,
escaped.
yeah.
Yes, yes. So when I gathered three good friends, trusted friends,
Uh-huh.
asked them to escape with me.
Really?
They
How did you do it?
the escape or the convincing
No, the actual escape. How did you
the
do it?
actual escape. Well, we pick up our belonging and we wait until nighttime. And this is in the wood, in the jungle, and we wait until it's getting dark. And it's easy to get dark at night because there is no light.
There's no lights
There's
anywhere.
no
Exactly.
light.
It's black.
Yeah, black. But there was guard. They take turn
And
to
guards and dogs and guns.
yeah, yes. But we just quietly sneak out, and we don't really know what to do, really.
You're just trying to get away. You
We
just knew you couldn't stay there.
Yeah, I just know that I could not keep going into the jungle. I need to go find my family.
Right.
So I think I better die. I'd rather die.
You'd rather die than stay there.
Yeah.
So you and your three friends, you escaped, and then how did you know which way to go?
We tried to track down where we came from.
Okay.
We have very vague idea. Don't really have a clear direction, but thank goodness we found our track, and we just follow by where we came from.
And you were able to get there safely? Nobody ever came upon you? Or
No, as soon as the sun rose, we have the light again, and we turn around, look in the back, and say, "Well, we are free.
Wow.
We are free."
I love it. Wow, what a story. So you get home and you find out that your family is all still alive.
Yeah, it's a long journey.
Long story. But how do you get to the United States?
Another escape.
Another escape. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh, that's
yeah.
crazy. All right, so let's talk about this because we have a couple minutes left and it's just an amazing story. You survived something that most people would not be able to survive. And we have a lot of people here in the United States, and most of our viewers are here in the United States, who have gone through a rough year.
Yes.
But I don't think it's anything compared to what you went through. How long were you in that captive?
4 years.
4 years. 4 years you lived as a slave,
Yes.
and you're here to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, Sarah.
Thank you.
How do you tell people? How do you tell people that, to be resilient? How do you teach people to be resilient? What are the words that you can give them that say, this is not permanent?
Yeah. Resilient is a wonderful thing to have. It's a good quality. But to get into resilience, you have to have many other core value, like positive mindset, for example. You don't dwell into, oh, poor me, oh, or blame game. Don't ever blame, look for somebody to blame. You just look for love. Think about people. When I was in that captivity, all I thought about was my family.
Yeah.
I imagine
And that's what kept you alive.
that's kept me alive is my love for my family. This month is the month we celebrate love. So
It is. Yeah.
so celebrate it, because if everything was stripped away from us, we only need people. That's all the matter. So when you have people in your life, you will feel more positive. You will have more energy to get motivated to do something.
So for those people out there who are suffering, because I'm not going to downplay what somebody's suffering is, because everybody's suffering.
Yes.
Some people feel like they are held captive or feel like they're a slave in the world that they're in. And, this could be you. It may not be a concentration camp. It may not be, the killing fields, but to you, it could be something that you're not sure how or if you're going to survive. And resilience is the key. And you're not, you can, I guess, be born with resilience, but can you learn resilience?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
It's all in the mindset.
Yes, in the mindset. And you gather all the positive perspective. My favorite phrase to say, it might not be 100% correct. You can always find something positive about any situation. Even my situation as a prisoner of war, even though I was in captivity, I was still grateful that they did not beat me up every day.
Right.
I was grateful that I didn't get raped. I was grateful that they didn't kill me.
Right.
And I'm grateful that I still have family that I dream about, that I
Yes.
want to be reunited. So in any situation, you can always find something positive to be grateful for.
And that will help get you through each day.
Yes.
And sometimes each minute. Because sometimes survival is about surviving this minute, surviving this hour, surviving this day, surviving this situation. And, you survived all that. And it's a beautiful story. It's an amazing story. And I could only relate to it as a child and I didn't have any idea what the killing fields was all about, when I was that young. But to know you and to hear how you got through it, and I hope it serves as an inspiration to others that whatever your situation, you can get through. Stay on the positive. Surround yourself with as much love as possible.
Yeah.
And
don't give up hope.
If you can't, in the situation that you're in, escape, find that escape route. Sometimes it's necessary to escape. It's okay to escape, right?
Yes, yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here today. I'm looking forward to reading further into the book and reading your whole story. And I hope Sarah's been an inspiration to you. She has been an inspiration to me. So, yes, women have needs too. Right now, we need to be resilient. Buy her book. How can they find your book?
It's available on my website, saraim.com.
SARAIM.com.
/book.
All right. Find the book, read it. It'll be an inspiration to you. Thank you and have a great day. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.